Hello, everyone, and welcome to the April 6th, 2016 edition, episode number 60, turning the big 6-0 here this week on Balls Deep Sports Talk. I am your host with the your once again Hump Day hero this week, the one and only Scotty Ball, thanking you as always for tuning in, finding your way to the show, hopefully each and every week, whether you're doing that on YouTube, SoundCloud, or my personal favorite, the free Spreaker app. Thank you again, as always, for finding the show. Now, I did mention on last week's show that our internet radio, which was the birthplace of our show here, is going to be up and running very soon. We were hopeful that it would be up this week. However, I have not been notified that that was the case, that there are still some fine-tunings going on, but that hopefully next week we'll be on glradio.net in addition to the three other platforms that I just mentioned. So we're looking very forward to having our internet radio station, home base for the show back up and running under a new name, and the site will be very new and improved, and can't wait for you guys to check it out. And also, I'm very excited to announce that this week I will once again have an interview that I'll be conducting on VikingsDigitalDiaries.com, as I try to do each and every week, but some weeks it just doesn't work out with, whatever potential or hopeful guest we have for that week, or maybe even with myself, and, it is what it is. But happy to announce that after last week not having a guest, that this week I will have another interview guest, and this one I am really looking forward to. I will be sitting down and talking 15 to 20 minutes of the upcoming NFL draft and previewing that, especially in regards to my and possibly your Minnesota Vikings and what they're all looking at. I will be talking with senior NFL draft analyst for NFL Draft Scout and CBS Sports, Dane Brugler. So make sure to check that out as soon as Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening on VikingsDigitalDiaries.com. Make sure to connect with them on Facebook by searching Vikings Digital Diaries, or on Twitter at Vikings Diaries. And the best way to keep up with all this awesome, crazy sports stuff that I'm doing, as well as, my takes or just sharing of general sports news, follow me on Twitter at BDST Show, and like and friend me on Facebook by searching Scotty-Ball. Alright, well, I think that's it for shameless plugs and promotions for now. And that means that we are about ready to go over the overview of what's going to be on the show here tonight. And boy, I gotta tell you, it is going to be a monster, mammoth-sized show once again, similar to last week's 3-hour juggernaut of an episode. But there's just way too much big-time stuff going on all around in the world of sports that we feel compelled to talk about here each and every week with you, because I don't know what sports stories you're all into and which ones you're not, so I try to talk about them all. I don't know, that's the basic philosophy. But before I get into the overview, I would like to start the show with a very quick sports-related story here that's local for me. I would like to take this time to congratulate my friend, coach of the Rocori Spartans high school football team, Mike Rowe, for winning the MFCA Section 8 2A Coach of the Year award here in the state of Minnesota, and this is his third time receiving said honor. So congratulations, Coach Rowe. And in addition to that honor, Coach Rowe will also be coaching the MFCA Summer All-Star Game for the North team on June 25th at St. Cloud State University. So again, congratulations, Coach Rowe. We're proud of you here in the big metropolis of Cold Spring. And now on to the overview. And like I said earlier, holy flying guacamole, we have got one heck of a show planned for you tonight. Maybe a bit overly ambitious, but that's just our style here on Balls Deep Sports Talk. So, of the many things that we will be talking about on tonight's show, if you listened to last week's show when I had special guest, WWE expert and guru extraordinaire, the one and only Doug Sanders, joined me to preview WrestleMania 32. Well, that went down, obviously, on Sunday, and so we will be recapping, I will be recapping, WrestleMania 32, what happened, as well as the surprises and twists or whatever that happened on the following night on Monday Night Raw, as that has grown to be the most rowdy and unpredictable and arguably exciting and best Raw every year. It's, a big show. It's almost better. The Raw after WrestleMania, as a matter of fact, is better than a lot of the pay-per-views that we get usually. But so you will get the recap on WrestleMania 32 as well as the recap and my thoughts on Raw as well. We'll also be talking a little bit of Lucha Underground, which I will be watching tonight because I religiously watch that every Wednesday as long as I can. And then I DVR them all anyway, so if I miss it, I can watch it later. It's only an hour long. Why not? But we'll be talking that as well because we talk pro wrestling on this show. As far as the real sports, quote unquote, tiny bit of UFC news, tons and tons of Major League Baseball to talk because the season is upon us. Opening day for the Twins here was 2 days ago, and so we'll be going over what happened then, what's going on tonight in their second game of the season out in Baltimore against the Orioles. And you will be getting, of course, as promised and as always, on every sport, when it is time, you will be getting my yearly predictions. And last year, I actually did pretty well for the most part on my baseball predictions, which surprised me a little bit, just considering how late I started researching, more deeply into everything before finalizing them. But I'm really excited to share with you my full in-depth team-by-team, player-by-player, award-by-award, trophy-by-trophy Major League Baseball predictions for the 2016 season. So tons of baseball to discuss, as well as I'm going to be previewing the Masters tournament because I love golf, and the Masters is the biggest tournament in golf, and it is upon us tomorrow. It's this Thursday through Sunday, so not only will you be getting my Major League Baseball season preview and predictions, you'll also be getting my PGA Masters tournament preview and predictions. So, again, ginormous, and a reward to anyone who stays up late and listens to this show before, having to finalize predictions for the golf tournament tomorrow morning. It'll be worth your while. But let's see, what else do we got on the show? Because that's just a little bit of it. Oh my gosh, we haven't even got to basketball yet. There is so much basketball to discuss. The men's Final Four, first round and championship game. Holy guacamole, the championship game. Wow. We've got the women's championship as well to discuss. We've got NBA basketball to discuss with the Wolves beating the Golden State Warriors in Golden State last night. Are you kidding me? Taking one final look probably at the playoff picture and standings before, next week's show when we would be looking at, well, I guess we'll probably still have one final look yet. Yeah, because that'll be when the hockey playoffs start, basketball playoffs start a week after that. So, one of our last looks here at the end of the NBA regular season. And that means we'll also be looking at hockey because, as I just mentioned, the hockey playoffs are going to be upon us a week sooner than the basketball playoffs. So if the basketball playoffs are about 2 weeks away, that means the hockey playoffs are about a week away, which means if we haven't been paying attention, which we have here on Balls Deep Sports Talk, by the way, but if we haven't been paying attention, it is last chance to check into on the NHL and see where we're at with playoff standings, if the Wild are in, if the Wild are out. It seemed last week when we were talking that the Wild were all but clinched in a playoff berth. Now that may not be the case, but we'll talk about that more specifically when we talk hockey. We'll also be, in addition to the NHL hockey, we'll talk about NCAA men's hockey, Frozen Four and champion as well. And of course, there will be NFL football to discuss. We're going to check in on the draft, a possible big trade that is all but likely to happen here involving a quarterback and a team that desperately needs a quarterback. Some more Viking-specific related news as well. Well, not so much news, but just talkers, I guess I should say. And we close, as always, with our Balls Deep Thought of the Day. So, boom, we have a massively huge, ginormous amount of sports to discuss on the show, and a lot of it is pretty big time. So, wow, this one's going to be really tough. I'll give you an extra minute to place your wagers if you play the at-home Balls Deep gambling game or at-home Balls Deep drinking game, usually played, intertwinably, from what I'm told. Wouldn't know, but this might be one of the toughest selections of an opening topic that I've ever had here in what is now my 60th episode of the show. I mean, college basketball national championship, either one of them. The Wolves upset even. The Wild's schneid and possible missing of a playoff spot. The Major League Baseball season being upon us. The Masters being here. What went down at WrestleMania? The biggest event of the pro wrestling calendar. So many different routes and ways we could go with this. Oh boy. But it's decision time. Alright, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our hit opening segment here on the show. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Balls on fire. What has got me, yours truly, Scotty Ball, the most on fire, the most heated up. And after long and painful self-examination, I have come to the realization that I am most fired up about the Major League Baseball regular season being upon us. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd park. I'm not even sure what some of the words are in that song. I think a few of them are interchangeable. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Yeah. It's baseball season, folks. I'm excited. Hopefully you are too. And I put in a whole bunch of wonderfully enjoyable time and research and study and thought into making my predictions and my picks for this week's show on the upcoming baseball season, and I just can't wait to share them with you. That's what I am most on fire of all about, is to do that. Now, before we dive into our full season preview here on the show, I think we should start off focusing with just a little bit on our Minnesota Twins. What happened with them in the opening game on Monday, and what things are looking like, or they're going up against here tonight as well, in addition to the rest of their upcoming schedule before the next time we talk sports here next week. So, the Twins are out in Baltimore opening the season. They had their season opener game on Monday. It was a 2:05 start time in the afternoon. I believe it didn't start till right around 3 or 3:30, and then it got